Hi, we're adults.
We say adult things.
And we use adult language.
You have been warned.
Hello, I'm Eric.
And I'm Paul.
And welcome to Sketchy Cast, brought to you by SketchyAntics.com.
Today's Sketchy Cast is brought to you by the letter M, for motive, because we have absolutely zero motive.
No motive here at the Sketchy Cast. We just throw casts at you and then get arrested for it.
We haven't been arrested yet.
They haven't caught us.
Anyway, Eric, I have a question for you today.
What's your question for me, Paul? I actually don't know this.
What's your favorite color?
I haven't said that yet. I was going to say, Paul, you know the answer to this. Obviously, we live together. My favorite color is green. I have follow-up favorite colors that I'm not sure if you know about. You obviously know about the second one, which is blue. I then like, in this order, yellow, red, and black. What's your favorite color, Paul?
Purple and silver.
Purple and silver? Is that like a team? Are you like the Vikings or something?
Actually, no. It came from when we were playing Halo. One of the first things you could do with an Elite, customizing it. And you can make the different colors, so I love the purple and silver Elite.
Wow.
But I've always liked purple and silver, like a nice purple with silver accents.
Yeah. Little flair to that purple.
Yeah.
Purple's kind of regal.
And it's regal has nothing really to do with it. I just think it's a really cool color. I think there's a lot of depth to it. You can go. Did
you say depth or death?
Depth.
Oh God. Okay. Yep.
You can do a lot when it comes to. There's a couple of paintings that I've seen and personally done using just the color purple and some black outlining, and you can do some really fun things with it. It's
kind of funny because as the artist, my answer was just so totally favorite color. Yours is like so in depth. The color. Mine is because green is my favorite color because natural things are green, and I really like nature. And
natural things on this earth.
Yeah, on this earth.
You can go to a different earth, and it could be like blue.
True. But I like green things in general. There isn't too many green. Like I like slime. I was a big fan of slime as a kid. But then blue, obviously, because it makes my eyes pop, which is awesome. Yellow, I don't know why I like. I just like yellow. Hair. Maybe that's it. That's it. Blue and I guess that would make sense. And then red and black I like for accent colors. So that's why those are on the list. I like purple too. Purple and orange would be a little farther down.
Can you just not pick a color?
It's green. It's green is the top one, and that's all that needs to be said. All right.
I think you've heard enough about Eric with colors. Jesus Christ, Eric.
So, without further delay, we'd like to introduce today's guest, a good friend of ours. I've known since freshman year of college, and Paul's known since our junior year of college.
No, since earlier. Since earlier than your junior year.
Oh, that's right. You knew him beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know you. Who is this kid? Anyways, please welcome Dylan Tillas.
Dun, 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 dun.
Woo! How's it going, Dylan?
Can I unmute now?
Say what?
Can I unmute myself now?
Yes, you can.
Just did that.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
So, Dylan,
I knew Paul before all of you. Yeah.
Favorite color?
You're going to do this to me, aren't you?
Apparently. The world has stopped and is waiting.
Well.
Hold on, can I guess your favorite color? Do I know this? Is it orange?
Go. You're saying that just because of the hockey team I made, didn't you?
Yeah.
I actually thought about that, but I don't... there's never been a color that screamed at me saying, I am your favorite color.
Oh my God, you're so indecisive.
I don't know. Don't yell at me.
It's purple with green stripes. Moving on.
Okay.
Also, one other follow-up question. If you could only have one relationship with one other female in this earth, who'd you go to?
Wait, do you mean like besides Caitlin? Oh, that's something we have to point out.
Is this a trap?
Caitlin actually watches...
Is she here? Is she here?
Is she here? We have her watching in the room right now.
No, I asked you this question. If you could only have relations with one other female for the rest of your life, who would you pick?
One other female or just...
Yeah.
Okay, so besides Caitlin.
Caitlin could die in a horrific accident.
Well, that's not good.
Okay, then I'm safe. Alright, I'm going to have to go with Felicia Day. She has always been a hero.
That is a good pick.
And on that note, dibs.
I hate
dibs on Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis. You did it again. It's Miley Cyrus and Mila Kunis mixed together.
Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis.
Oh my God.
We had this conversation yesterday.
That would be the scariest mix-up ever.
You're telling me.
Oh God.
So anyways, like I said, we've known Dylan for quite a while. I've known Dylan since freshman year, and within 4 days of knowing Dylan, me and Dylan started something called Fading Light Production.
And the actual Fading Light.
Yeah, and the actual Fading Light.
I missed that light.
You want to tell a little bit about that, because we don't have those videos on Sketchy.
Well, whose fault is that?
That's mine, though I also was going to ask you and never did. I guess still mine. Still my fault.
Fading Light started out as... I enjoyed making short videos. Eric liked making short videos, so we figured, why not make short videos together?
All these things are true.
So...
Wait.
Yes?
He hasn't gotten
PG-13 videos, NC-17...
No, they're pretty PG. All those are PG. Yeah.
I'd say along the lines of what this podcast is.
Yeah. Some suggestive
respectable. It was respectable.
Alright, Bang Bros was considered respectable at one point.
What? No, that's just a lie. It's a documentary. Anyways.
So we just did a bunch of little sketch videos. I think Random Bits was our biggest video, I guess.
I was gonna say we did pretty good on a couple of those videos. I mean, for what we were just amateurs. We got into like 500-600 views like within a couple days with a couple of those. I know Random Bits reached 1,000 something at one point. We were like, oh my god! Right now, when we can't talk today.
You're not tired, so.
When we was like 500 and something subscribers on YouTube that we got, and that was to date was my my biggest achievement in the internet. So, anyways, after Fading Light kind of faded out,
I see what you did there.
Yeah. We moved on to...
It hurts me. It hurts me.
We moved on to Shifty Gamers, which was also your brainchild.
Shifty Gamers or Shifty Productions?
Well, that's right. We did Shifty Productions, then Shifty Gamers.
One was part of another, I think. What was Shifty Gamers?
Shifty Production was what we did before Shifty Gamers. Shifty Production was a culmination of different stuff.
Like, that was like the umbrella of everything.
Yeah, that was, we just stuck everything under there. And then we had Shifty Gamers, which had the podcast. You were working on the machinima for that.
Working on. I wrote one page of a script and that was it.
It was a great idea, though. What was with it? Time Splitters?
Yeah, Time Splitters.
I remember this discussion thoroughly, because I love Time Splitters.
Yeah.
It was a good game.
Yeah.
And then the fact that you could create customized levels and whatnot, yeah, it was a big turn on. It was just, you couldn't...
all the different kind of characters you could have in that, it was amazing.
I think, if I remember correctly, though, one of the problems was using the characters to express. Because when you did the look down thing, the head didn't bob, did it?
Well, that was just... Didn't that just, it was a glitch from Halo, that's why that
worked
in Red vs. Blue.
That they took advantage of, so... Yeah, we didn't have any of that kind of expression stuff.
No, we didn't need that. We were good.
We had our voice actors, man. Quality voice actors. But we also did the podcast, which eventually did lead to this podcast.
I enjoyed that podcast.
Was fun.
Especially yelling at Eric that he had a shitty microphone and he should go in the other room.
Yes. Yes. I remember just the pinball effect of one person's or someone didn't have their headphones and then someone else didn't have their headphones, and then you just said one word and it just reverberated across all our computers and it didn't stop. It's good times. And we have all this fancy high-tech software.
Dark Ages.
I just love the fact that we were set up around the apartment in different sections, different positions.
It was one room, and then we just kind of huddled in our own corners.
Yeah, we had to get as far away from each other as we could, but still in the same room.
Didn't want to get feedback. We had 5 of us on there at one time, right? It was 4 or 5 of us.
Yeah.
Doing the podcast.
We had the 3 of us, Austin, and did Steve or Andrew do one once?
I think Steve jumped in. I don't know about Andrew. He might have. I'll have to ask him about that.
I honestly can't remember.
I haven't. But anyways,
who's on next week? We don't know.
Oh wait, next week?
I know, right?
Oh, I have an idea for next week.
Foreshadowing.
Yes.
Anyway,
Maybe these answers will be answered next week. Stay tuned. Sorry. Yeah, focus.
You're terrible.
I'm terrible at this. This is why we have a Paul. So then we went from Shifty Production to Shifty Gamers, which was the webcomic more based things. No, Shifty Productions was. That was the webcomic. We had the webcomics, which was Fading Fast Forward for Me, which was based off of a full length movie you and me were writing in freshman year. Called The Dean's List.
Hey, we got a decent amount of that written.
We got half a movie written.
So if anyone from Hollywood is listening, hit us up. We have a good idea
actually,
for
you know what? I think I may post that. Actually, I'll talk to you after this, Dylan. If you're cool with me posting some things, I think I'm going to put them up on the site because there's a lot of stuff that I still have from that time period that I'd like to put up.
Only if I can get some royalties out of it.
That's what I have to document. But no, we had great times. But yeah, you knew Paul before I did. What was your little love triangle there? I don't know what you guys do. I don't know who you guys are.
I was a TA, and Dylan was the really cool student.
Hi, TA Paul. Bestest friend Paul.
Oh yeah, bestest friend Paul too. One of our old mutual friends developed this nickname for me, which I couldn't tell if she was or was not trying to sleep with me at that point.
Oh, she was. She was very much trying.
There's a couple who were.
I shouldn't ask who it was because it's a podcast and this is being recorded.
She might be listening.
She might be.
Hold on, Paul might or may not be writing things down on a piece of paper right now to show me. Oh, that's one thing. We're in the same room today. Oh, yes. We're in the same. It totally was. We're in the same room today, which is different from our last, 3 casts? 2 casts?
3.
Something like that.
I am not.
No, Dylan is not on location. He is coming to us from a distant place near Boston.
Anyway, yeah, Dylan and I met through me being a TA and an overall jackass, and
Gen Chem 1.
And Dylan was one of the cool students who I thought had potential and could survive.
This kid's gonna make it someday.
I didn't say make it someday. He's gonna graduate college. That's slightly different.
And that happened. Paul can read people apparently so well.
And that happened, and I have no idea what to do now.
Dylan, you went to school for forensic science, much like myself, except you went for chemistry, which is funny because now I'm in a chemistry job. Rubbing that in right there. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. But you are trying to do something. What it is that you're working on that I just found out before this podcast and making it sound like I've known all along?
I'm actually in the process of becoming a high school chemistry teacher.
Really?
Which is cool.
I am. I'm taking the chemistry portion of the test in a week and a half, and they tell me that there's an 80% fail rate for the first time taking it.
You know, if you pass, that'll make that super amazingly awesome, and if you don't, then it's like, well, of course, it was 80%. So I guess it's not that bad, no matter what happens.
It's funny that a lot of people we know are becoming, well, not a lot of people you know, I take it back. A lot of people I know who graduated went on to become teachers.
Huh.
Mostly because that whole thing that's going on where if you become a teacher or something vital,
yeah,
you get your loans forgiven.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's up to 18,000 of your federal loans.
What?
Yeah.
Which would really help me out.
What the hell am I doing with my life?
You're working almost in your field.
Almost.
Failure.
It's a science.
Failure.
People keep pointing that out. They're like, well, it's a science.
Yeah,
so
my
good.
dream was to become a PhD, open up my own lab, and do shit.
Things could still happen. I'm still rooting to get my own lab eventually. People, I do have, if you go over to sketchyantics.com and you donate via PayPal, I will use these funds to eventually build a lab. Also, don't hold me to that.
Or we could, hopefully take off with the webcomic. And
oh, yeah, that project,
become
too.
massively popular like Dilbert.
Oh, no, we'll get to that later. But anyways.
Terrible segue.
That was, sorry. We're doing...
Easy.
I'm all over the freaking place!
Focus.
It's hot in here, and I think I'm losing my mind a little bit.
So take off all your clothes.
Oh God, you're singing. This, I don't even. I would point out that that's being recorded, but it hurts.
Breathe.
You know you've missed it.
Focus.
So anyways...
Dylan Sexy, what are you going to do?
Dylan Sexy, what I'm going to do? I'm going to point out that me and Dylan have known each other for a long time, and he's a big part of my creative inspiration.
Aww.
And I'm excited to possibly... I'm excited to have him on the guest, but we're also looking to... kind of terrible segue, sorry guys. Dylan also is a big part of our lives because he was our first DM in D&D, or no, not our first DM. You were Paul was actually our first DM. Yeah, with D&D. But Dylan ran a campaign a little while back. And
Dylan succeeded, man.
Yeah, it was the longest running campaign out of all our campaigns. So yeah,
I believe so.
And it was very good. And we're actually looking at playing. What is it now that you just got?
It's the brand new edition of Dungeons and Dragons.
Which is what now? 5 point what?
It's just 5th edition.
Oh, 5.
Like,
okay.
The first piece of it just released 3 days ago.
Oh wow. Okay.
So it's brand new.
On that.
Yeah, I pre-ordered it.
So we'll be playing that soon. So hopefully we'll have some information about that. We may, I'll talk to you about this, Dylan.
I think we should record it.
I was just gonna say, recording it would be awesome because we always have a fun time playing D&D. There has never, well, I shouldn't say there's ever. 90% of the time, it is hilariously awesome. So.
See, it's kind of funny for me to see how far D&D has come because I played 3.0, 3.5, 4.0. And,
that's right. You were grandfathered into this.
Yeah. No, I've played D&D a lot, and it's very interesting to see the evolution. To go from you control every single bloody aspect of your character to right down his fingernails give you +2 dexterity.
Of course. It's always the fingernails.
To now it's very streamlined and it takes a lot of focus away from the mechanics.
Yeah.
And it focuses more on the story. And I'm interested.
Fourth was very combat based. Like, it was a lot more about combat and less about role playing.
Yeah.
And I never played the older editions. All I ever played was 4. And just from that, I thought I liked it. And then just getting a sneak preview of 5, I can say that I don't think I liked it.
I'm excited. I heard, you probably know this better than I would, but I heard 3 was a lot less combat oriented, more role playing oriented.
3.5. It was. I mean, mind you, every single bloody D&D session I've done always lasts for hours on end.
Yeah.
But 3.5, you spent a shit ton of time tweaking your character.
Yeah.
And then when you actually played, you could get through combat relatively quickly, and then you would work on the story relatively more.
Sure.
So what was your favorite edition, Paul? 3.5 or 4?
See, it's the same thing with Morrowind. I like 3.5 because you can control every single aspect of your character. Where 3.5 to me is the equivalent of Morrowind's The Elder Scrolls.
Alright. So you really get to...
You really do a ton of tweaking.
Yeah.
4.0 and on to me is more like Oblivion and Skyrim.
Okay.
Where it's much more freeform.
Yeah.
Where you're not really
where the combat takes 3 hours.
Yeah, Eric.
Yeah. Well, I never know what I want to do. If you do it right, a rogue can hit like a freaking truck.
Well, any class does.
Yeah, they can. And we always thought you were cheating, that you had extra.
I know. I just worked
somewhere.
It it was a puzzle that I was enjoying so much.
Well.
Paul, roll for damage? Alright, I got 6 damage. Alright, Austin, you roll for damage. I got 4. Eric, I have 320 damage.
Hold on, first give me a half hour.
I roll for this, I gotta add this bonus. No, add that to this.
What time of day is it? What moon are we under?
Well,
it's a new moon? Oh yeah, that's +3.
I had a friend who was very much like that too. He was my best friend for the first 2 or 3 years of college.
Yep.
And he could break any class. You give him about a day and a half of reading all the books.
Yeah.
And he could pick and choose feats. He could form the perfect character where he could sit there. His favorite were always range classes. He had this ranger who could fire off 3 shots in succession, and it would do. It could take down a lot of things relatively quickly.
Yeah.
because he would have bonuses applied to it and all these really crazy things. One of my favorite moments, actually, I took a leaf out of his book, and there was the old gang of D&D players. I think this was my sophomore year, end of it. There was a bunch of new kids who had come up and they had started a new D&D campaign, and they claimed they could take us on. So we said, what?
No, you didn't!
We threw down in an arena. And so I was a druid.
PvP flag.
PvP D&D. I was a druid, so my go-to was always go into Raven form, fly above the combat, and just rain hell upon them. Because you could do that.
Yep.
You could do that. And then one of my best friend, what she did, she was a mage. Mm-hmm. She was allowed to pick from whatever spellbook she wanted, so she prepared 3 spells that day. And what it amounted to was an atomic suicide spell. Because she knew that one of the guys was going to gun just for her. He was a stealth, I think he was a rogue.
Yeah.
Very stealth-based. She couldn't hit him first time around. If she could hit him, he'd die.
Yeah.
So, she basically made it so if she died, he died too.
Ah.
And we both knew that since I was being Raven form, I'd be out of range. So
keep your finger on that grenade pin.
That's essentially what she did. She killed 3 of them in one go.
Damn.
And I was flying around. I finished off another one, and we were just sitting there. And he's like, "You died," and she's like, "Yeah, but you guys all lost." Like, yeah, but you died. You died too. It was a lot of fun.
You all did, but my team still has like 2 people over there, so I'm just saying.
We won. That was a fun time.
So anyways, Dylan, this is kind of an introduction to you. There was just so much to tell. I mean, it's hard to pack it into 10 minutes. Yeah.
I'm just that awesome.
Well, now we can probably pack it into 5.
This is also called setting up a future podcast.
Yes,
dun.
So, Dylan, I think, would be a great addition to the podcast team. By that, I totally mean
rotating guest.
Yeah, someone who would come back later on. Right?
Oh man.
So, anyways, at this point,
sign me up for a contract.
Oh, that's right. Doesn't pick it. Anyway. Paul's yelling at me because I keep hitting the table. If you guys can hear it, I'm sorry. I'll apologize. You probably can hear that. Anyways, I'd like to say thank you, Dylan, for coming on.
My ears are bleeding.
It's been great having you. Normally at this point, we would say goodbye to our guest and move on to what's going on in me and Paul's lives. But Paul, Jesus Christ. Dylan, since we know you so well, would you like to stay for the rest of the podcast?
Well, if you're gonna twist my arm.
And this has been Dylan. Everybody can say goodbye to Dylan.
Wait, no.
So, Eric.
Yes.
I heard something.
You heard something.
You started a new job.
It's true. I did, and we talked about it last podcast.
Yeah, but actually, achievement unlocked. You survived your first week.
It's true.
Keep up, Paul.
And I'm not really sure how much I want to actually talk about my work, because I don't know how much this can turn around and bite me. Let's just say I wasn't allowed to do too much at work this week. What?
Just divulge everything.
Just divulge everything.
So the
access code to the main tech room.
Every little secret.
But no, it's been great. I'm really happy with it. Like I said, it's chemistry, like I talked about last time. Same job Paul had, QC. Has. I'm sorry, you didn't lose it because I got it. Even though that was my plan. But we did find out that Paul is not switching shifts. He's staying on first shift for now. Mm-hmm. So that's awesome.
We're the 2 best friends I would have.
It's true. And I'm pretty sure Caitlin is going to destroy one of us. But, because we know each other so well. But no, it's great, and I'm having a great time in chemistry, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. So, yes. What's going on with you, Paul?
It's really, we did do that one really awesome thing.
We did, there was something I remember this past weekend.
Who could we have met? We met someone.
I feel like we met more than someone.
We met somebody. Somebody's important.
Hey,
We went to Connecticut.
Guys,
I
what
spoiled
did
it.
you do?
It was great. We had such a great time, guys. Oh my god.
We got to meet a lot of people in the fly.
Oh yeah, no, that was great. We met about 14 people that we actually had conversations with. The fact that I counted that sounds a little desperate, but someone actually asked me how many people we talked to, so I did add it up.
I mean, the big one, the big two I really want to talk to was Tim Buckley.
Yeah.
And Dave Mercier.
We really should ask him how to say his last name.
Next time we see you, Dave, we will ask.
But if you guys, obviously you're on this video, you can go over to my last vlog, which is the Sketchy Goes to Connecticut, and Dave Mookie, which is really awesome. Go check out his stuff. Star Power was a really great comic.
Yeah.
And Tim Buckley all did the Sketchy intro, which was really awesome of them, and they're great sports. So, thank you guys. It would be awesome if you're listening, but thank you guys.
It's really funny because we went there and we were all excited to meet these to us who are celebrities.
Yeah.
And they are normal, average, everyday people.
It was so surreal.
The first one we talked to was Dave.
Yeah.
And we were just like gushing. We love your webcomics.
Dave seemed to be really surprised that he had fans.
Yeah, I know.
But I guess Dave's only been doing webcomics for about 2 years now.
Yeah, he's like, you guys actually read the comic? And we're like, yeah. I was like, I love the Rhino bit that you did. It was like the 3 or 4 comic series where you had the Rhino fighting and you had him dying. He's like,
I don't know if we said it, but Dave does Mercworks.
He does Mercworks.
Yeah,
he also does a lot of commission pieces. But he updates Mondays and Thursdays, and it's really good.
And that's at merkworks.net if you guys want to go check that out. It's awesome, and you should go read it, because awesome people make awesome comics and awesome stuff. Dylan, that's one you should go read, because I know you're behind.
I'm looking at it now. I think, is it MERC Works?
Yes.
MERC Works, WORKS, at .net.
Oh, .net. Okay, I was going to say, these are trees that I'm looking at.
Yeah, he's a very, very good artist. I think there's a lot of potential for him.
Yeah,
if he gets going, I think he can really put out a good couple comics a week and really break out.
And since we're on the note, I'll throw out a couple more. We met... oh my god, this is so embarrassing. We met the people from Bittersweet Candy Bowl, which Veronica and Oliver. Jeez, I'm sorry, guys.
They were very cool to
They
talk
were
to.
very cool, yep. We talked about their webcomic a lot. Oliver does the actual website along with all the setting up of the business stuff and everything, and obviously Veronica draws all of the comics and everything, and she's amazing. Her comic's very well done when it comes to storyline-wise and art in general. And I will say this right now, you will not find a better comic about dogs and cats in high school. You're probably hard-pressed to find another one that exists.
Dogs and cats.
Well, I'm going to make one.
Which is really good. No, I love it. It's a great comic. I know a lot of people are put off by the furry aspect of it, but it is hilariously good. But you gotta start from earlier on. It's a great story.
I mean, it's tough for me to break into, like you said. I'm not... Furries are not something...
Yeah, I know. It's a big turnoff for a lot of people, but it is a great story.
We also got to meet Chris Hazelton.
Yes, which...
Of Misfile.
Of Misfile, which was great. Chris actually invited us to dinner with him and a couple other guys after the convention. It was great meeting them and talking to them and pulled pork was amazing.
It was kind of funny, because Chris has the reverse of what most webcomics artists have, where he started off fairly popular. He didn't have to build as much because, as he loves to point out, his wife made her thesis promoting his webcomic.
Which, if you get the chance to do, he says that you should do it.
Yeah. This guy just free publicity, and you know what, it worked. And he does have a fairly good webcomic. I've been going through it. I really like the concept of it.
Yep.
Without going into too much detail.
Yeah, obviously.
But yeah, who else did we meet?
We met a lot of people, and that's the thing. Like I said, there was 14 different people we talked to from a variety of... We talked to the people from Namesake. We talked to the people from Eerie Cuties. We talked to the people from... I said Star Power, Mookie was there. Oh god, there's just so many people that we got to talk to there. And people who actually get to go to conventions, and I know a lot of you guys can, and a lot of you guys can't, but really want to. If you ever get the chance, hands down do it. This is our really first time going with seeing like webcomic people, and I know Dylan, you, me, and Austin were original ones that went to PAX.
Yes.
And
Yes,
we
we were.
PAX a lot. And PAX is great. And, Penny Arcade Expo, if you guys ever been, we go to PAX East in Boston every year.
Now,
but it doesn't have a very strong webcomic base. It's mostly games.
It's all video games.
The thing with Kineticon, and I really did like Kineticon a lot because of this, is that it was a mixture.
Yeah.
You had everything. You had gaming. You had a little bit of tech. There was a lot of cosplay. A little too much cosplay for my taste, but
There's no such thing, Paul.
Which was funny because we went to dinner with Chris and those guys, and at one point we were talking about how we really enjoyed Kineticon and everything, and Paul pointed out that there was a lot of cosplay, and they looked at us like we had 7 heads, and we were like, well, we don't go to many conventions.
we don't go to many conventions.
He's like, oh yes, okay.
Well, they named off 2 of the major ones where there's a lot of cosplay.
Oh yeah. Well, Anime Boston, that's one right there.
Yeah.
Oof.
And
I don't mean oof as a bad thing. I just mean oof as you guys have a lot of cosplay over there.
But this was a mixture. This con had a lot going on.
Oh yeah.
And it was nice because when we went to the panel Saturday morning, it was basically all the webcomic artists got out of bed, walked down to the panel, and hung out for an hour.
Yeah.
And it was nice. It was private. There wasn't a lot of people there. There's people that pop their head in and be like, oh, this isn't what we want to go see.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was it brought a very one-on-one. We had like one-on-one time with almost everybody there.
Eric, how long did we have to wait in line to get into any of these?
None, absolutely none, which threw me through a loop because you have to wait like 45 minutes to get to anything at PAX. And we got there we were rushing to get there a half an hour early. Like, okay, if we get there half an hour early, then at least we should be able to get in line. We get there 15 minutes. We're like, damn it, we're gonna be crunch for time, but we'll probably still get in there. No line, got right in, not a problem. If you get there on time for anything,
you got front row seats.
You get front row seats for a lot of it.
There's a lot of cool things, and there's a lot of artistic things. It was awesome.
Yeah. So, Super Art Fight was there, which I don't know if a lot of you guys know about. I didn't know too much about before I saw them on the list of people who were going to get into Kineticon. They are great. I just Google Super Art Fight. They do. It's hard to really explain what they do.
They do a show. They do a dueling artists show.
Which is they do them and it's hard to explain. They have personas. They take like a World Wrestling type approach to it, where they each have a persona, and they invite these really good artistic people on. Very famous webcomic people. I know Danielle was on there. There was a couple other people we were pointing out.
Jamie Noguchi.
Yep. And they take them on, and they have this battle where they have a gigantic canvas. I mean, like 12 foot by 7 foot.
7 by 11.
7 by 11. And they have to draw. And there's a wheel of death that they spin. And every 5 minutes, they spin this wheel of death, and whatever comes up, they have to draw. And it's a battle because you draw something.
Well,
I know,
that's
right?
not deadly. I was expecting
wheel of death,
flame,
draw
knives.
something. But, no, you have to draw something, and then the other person attacks your drawing. They can use what you draw off of it, or just attack what you've drawn. And apparently it gets pretty wild. And they have podcasts. They do another podcast. I'll shout out theirs, because why not? They're awesome. But yeah, go look up Super Art Fight.
It was very cool. Actually, my favorite character, and I really would love to have heard him, was Baron von Sexyfeld.
Baron von Sexyfeld.
It was just a terrible Eastern European accent. And it was hilarious.
No, it was hilarious.
Took my alter ego.
Dylan has to find work somewhere else now.
It was funny, and it honestly, if I'm gonna hold a lot of convention experiences to this, because this was small, this was very intimate when compared to what I think a lot of them will be. I feel a lot of them specialize.
Yeah.
PAX specializes in gaming. There's not a lot of comic presence there. There's not a lot of artistic presence there.
That's true.
You go to anime conventions. You go to a couple other different conventions. They're heavy on the artists, but they leave a lot of things lacking. If you have ADHD, this one was perfect for you.
Yeah, that's a fact. But no, I think Dylan, I think you'd enjoy this one. I know you're not. You read some webcomics. I know you used to be much more into the webcomic community. I know you still read QC.
I read QC, and then every now and then I'll go check in on like XKCD and Doghouse Diaries. Every now and then I'll go into Control-Alt-Delete, but once they stopped going with the actual storyline, it just kind of fell off the face of the earth for me.
Yeah, it was a really good in-depth conversation.
Really?
Yeah, I really respect him for that. But fun fact, Dylan, guess what? He's bringing back Ethan and Lucas.
What? I heard that rumored like a while ago, like when he first ended the whole thing.
No,
I just thought it was just a rumor.
You have the
but so it's a real thing.
He's rebooting it for the summer, which really impresses me because he wants to do justice to Ethan. He wants to make him more than the one-dimensional character that he was for most of the webcomics, and that was his biggest problem with Ethan, was that there was no redeeming values for Ethan. You couldn't walk up to Lucas and say, "Why are you friends with Ethan?" And Lucas couldn't say X, Y, and Z.
Apparently they're making him, like, he said before that there was a lot of things, like, you couldn't find things that you really liked about Ethan, that, like, as characters, you know, he had a lot of, not very many, you just said this, didn't you? Not many redeeming qualities. I knew you said it, I spaced a little bit.
But yeah, it's really cool that he can also use his better art style that he has now, because he has a I think his art is fantastic.
Oh, yeah, no, it is. He's gotten much better. I mean, there's a lot of controversy. There's a lot of controversy around him, and, Control-Alt-Delete, and it's...
I've never really gotten why. Like, people always said the whole thing with
there's that.
Lily
there's
and the
big
miscarriage.
things around Penny Arcade. I mean, we won't touch into that too much, but... You know, it was a little disconcerting, but he's kind of made his own thing now. You know, he's got his own thing going on, and try to look past that a little bit. He does have a good art style.
If you view it this way, the full storyline was his freshman storyline. This is going to be a sophomore storyline. He knows more. He understands more. He knows what he wants to get out of it. He can give much more deep and he can give us deeper characters that have more meaningful lives and can tell a story with them. Rather than, hey, we're playing video games, hey, something blew up, hey, we did something stupid.
Yeah.
And you got hints of it here and there, but he kind of trapped himself.
It's true. He kind of...
And so
there's a saying there that I just forgot, but keep going.
By rebooting it, he can go back. And
yeah.
I'm excited to see where this goes.
So when did you say that's supposed to start up?
So when?
This summer.
When did you say that's supposed to start up? Is it the summer?
I know he was doing some concept art for Ethan, so it's coming soon. He did say, he said a couple months or something like that it was going to be, So look for that come fall, I guess, because the rest of the summer he'll take to finish that up, and then by fall everything should probably be all set with that. Yay! There's a lot of things to look forward to. I should throw out some things right now. Obviously, QC is in Guest Comic Week, which I know. Yeah, I know. Everybody's got the same feeling about that. It's like, check out the Guest Comic, which I don't. Yeah, that's true.
At least it's almost
it's terrible to say because.
No offense to all the all the artists.
I'm just gonna say there's so many good people who are good artists and everything. That are doing comics and stuff. But
I just want stories, damn it.
Chris Baldwin did today's. They had what was it, David Willis? I think which was his first one without butts in it. I think he pointed out, which is a big thing for him. There's been that, and then over on Danielle's thing, we had David Willis last week, did his weekly thing, and this week we had Lucy Bellwood, who does, I'm not so familiar with hers. It's like, Sex Toy, or something like that? Oh no, Sex Toy? I don't remember what it is. I'm sorry, Lucy. But go check out Lucy Bellwood stuff. She's over on Danielle's channel right now. For this week, it's still, Danielle will be gone until the 18th, August 18th, so you guys have plenty of time to go check out all those stuff. I guess she's been doing good, and she's been tweeting up a storm and everything, so. So yes, go check girlswithslingshots.com for that one. We've introduced quite a few comics today that we don't normally talk about.
Yeah.
That's true.
But, it's getting be about that time.
Yeah, it is.
So, Eric, if there's one comic that you would like...
Hold on. We gotta do the proper ending here. First of all, Dylan, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Oh, no, thank you for having me. and
No,
all
it's
that
really good. I'm
jazz
sorry we didn't have you
shit.
too much to talk about when we were going through the normal stuff. We had you here kind of just in the background hanging out. But thank you for hanging out.
Anytime.
But we'll definitely have you back because there's more to the story than we've gone through.
She's actually kind of cute.
Yeah, yes, I would love to be back.
All right. Now, as a lot of people know who've seen the last couple of podcasts, that our podcasts have kind of been ending with like, okay, bye, or a horrible ending or stuff like that. So we wanted to try to mix it up a little bit, and I think we're going to try to keep to this new strategy for a little while longer. And Paul was saying...
Eric, if there's one webcomic that you'd like people to read this week, what webcomic would you like them to try?
And we're going to try to stick to this for a little while. This week, I know we just introduced a whole bunch of webcomics, but I would like to introduce everyone to The Last Halloween. And this is one that I know has become really popular lately over the last few months, or I'm not sure months, but I guess it's months now. When Penny Arcade did their strip search, their TV show, game show thing, finding the next best top webcomic person, the writer of The Last Halloween, Abby Howard, who previously did Junior Scientist Power Hour, which is at jspowerhour.com. She now does one called The Last Halloween, and that's at last-halloween.com. And it is a great webcomic. It is a horror webcomic. She does a great job. It's all black and white. Abby was definitely one. I mean, Katie won Strip Search, but Abby was definitely one of my favorites. The Last Halloween is about a girl who is trying to survive basically the monster apocalypse. You guys have to read this one. It is epic. It is everything I want to see in a horror webcomic. Go check it out now.
I love the art style.
Yeah, I mean, what she does with black and white and shading and everything, I wish I could be this good. But she's awesome. Go check that out. But besides that, I think we're all set here. Guys, have a great week.
I'm Paul.
I'm Eric.
Thank you for listening.